KCIM Sports presents the Pizza Ranch Saturday Morning Coaches Show with Sports Director Jeff Blankman.
Thank you very much, John, and happy Saturday morning, everybody. Welcome here, of course, to the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show. We've got a busy slate of coaches to get here. We're going to talk to Ryan Steinkamp, their big win at Southeast Valley last night. We'll talk to Craig Rowetter as the Tigers up and Harlan take command of the district race. Deb Danner with the Carroll Girls Swim Team joined us. They're headed over to Des Moines Lincoln today. Riley Ludwig of the Carroll Tiger Volleyball Team going to be joining us as well. We'll talk cross country with Kemper head coach Thomas Nelson. We'll talk a little Kemper volleyball today. Rusty Wintermote joining us as well. And Dina Finneran from the Kemper Girls Tennis Team. They've got Charlotte Schwabe heading to the state tennis tournament as an individual next week. We'll chat with her about how things went with their team event earlier this week as well. All that coming up here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show. But of course, as we do every Saturday morning, we're going to start with the scoreboard from last night. We'll start this week in Class 2A District 2. Kemper knocks off Southeast Valley on the road 42-6 to move it 2-0 in district play, 5-0 overall. Southeast Valley is 1-1 in district play. It was OABCIG downing at Spirit Lake 24-17. They rally for that win. They're 1-1 in district play. Sierra Spirit Lake falls to 0-2. And Okoboji goes to 2-0 with a 35-0 victory over Esterville Lincoln Century, who sits at 0-2 in the district. Class 3A District 6, big win for Carroll last night, knocking off Harlan 33-28. Tigers are 1-0 in district play. Harlan at 0-1. Greene County blanks Perry 49-0. The Rams are 1-0 in district play. Perry is 0-1. Atlantic gets a Hail Mary to beat Creston 29-27. The Trojans are 1-0 in district play, while the Panthers sit at 0-1. Class 1A District 2, Emmitsburg tops South Central Calhoun up in Lake City 34-27. Titans are 1-1 in district play. Emmitsburg goes to 2-0. Esac also 1-1 in district play with a 40-30 victory at home over South Hamilton, who falls to 0-2 in district play. And Manson Northwest Webster sitting at 2-0 in district play. They blank Pocahontas area 21-0. The Indians looking for their first district win. They're 0-2. Class A District 8, ICAM Manning over Akron Westfield 35-8. ICAM Manning is now 1-2 in district play. Akron Westfield falls to 2-1. St. Albert goes to 4-0 in district play, rolling past Westwood 54-26. Westwood 0-4 in the district. Loma 2-1 in the district. They beat West Monona 21-0. West Monona falls to 0-4. And Woodbury Central played out of the district. They're 3-0 in district play, but they stepped out of district, beat Galen Catholic 43-3. 8-man District 9. High-scoring affair last night down at Coon Rapids. Crusaders edged by Arweva 64-50. Crusaders 3-1 in district play. Arweva slides to 2-2. Audubon steps out of the district to beat Fremont Mills 40-8. Audubon stays 3-0 in the district. And it was Cam over Glidden Ralston 54-46. The Wildcats led that one going into the fourth quarter, had a chance down inside the 5 on their final possession late in the game, not able to punch it in. The Wildcats will slip to 1-2 in district play. Cam will go to 2-1. And it was Xyro Gordon Kimballton knocking off Griswold 70-32. The Spartans are 1-2 in district play, while Griswold falls to 0-4. We'll step away, take a break. We've got Ryan Steinkamp set to join us next. We'll talk Kemper football right here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show.
Hey moms and dads out there, let Pizza Ranch make feeding your family fun and affordable. Every Tuesday night, kids 12 and under eat free. Whether they love the pizza, chicken, or mac and cheese, you'll make them all happy. When you're on the go with sports, church, or, well, just life, come in for a quick and delicious buffet. The best part is, they'll do the dishes. Pizza Ranch makes family meals fun and fast. For delivery or carryout, call 792-3456. Pizza Ranch, just off Highway 30 in Carroll.
Whoa, that's good.
Back again here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show here on Saturday, joined by Kemper Knights head football coach Ryan Steinkamp. Coach, just want to congratulate you first on the big win there last night.
Absolutely. Thanks for that. Thanks for having me, Mason.
You guys last night, a 42-6 game over Southeast Valley. First, I just want to look in kind of the big scope here. You guys averaging 40 points a game on offense. What do you feel like the biggest factor of that is?
I think a lot of it is just our kids' confidence in each other. We started a little bit slow tonight. Had turnover early, but the kids just responded well. When we make mistakes, the kids answer it and learn from it, and are ready to get it back out there.
For you guys, you talk about that turnover early. What kind of happened with that turnover? Take us through kind of what you saw on the sidelines.
I always had turnover on downs, and then then there's an interception up there. But the kids responded well, and just really proud of their efforts.
For you guys, I mean, when I was looking down and looking at the game here, you saw a couple touchdowns from Braxton Vanami, a touchdown from Jaron Hoffman. You guys could do it both in the run and passing game. What do you feel like opened up last night against Southeast Valley?
They're bringing a lot of pressure, and then there's a lot of pressure up the middle, and I think we just took what was there on the outside, just some quick passes here or there too. Then receivers and the line did a great job blocking.
And when you talk about that line doing a nice job blocking, I know on that left side you have some two bigger guys with Lucas Steele on that side as well. But on your right side, I mean, some smaller guys there. For a smaller kind of line on that right side, how do you kind of manage to block some of their bigger D tackles and D linemen?
Just effort and attitude. They work hard at it too. They might pull here or there too, or do different schemes with them. But they just work hard at getting better each day too. And Coach Murtis does a great job with them.
During the first quarter, you guys, I mean, you talked about getting out to a slow start. Did you feel like that was due to kind of the defense that Southeast Valley was bringing to you?
They did a nice job. But we weren't quite sure what they were going to do. They brought a lot more pressure than they kind of showed in the past. And then we made some of our own mistakes too. But a lot of credit goes to them.
And you talk about them bringing more pressure. Was that adding more defensive linemen, or was that linebackers or safeties coming down? What do you feel like they were doing?
We got linebackers bringing pressure.
And when the linebackers bring pressure, do you feel like that kind of opened up a pass game over the middle?
Yeah, we just kind of attacked the outside, and then we got some nice open blocks in the open field.
For you guys, though, if you talk about that slow start, when did it start to kind of kick into gear, and when did you guys start getting it going?
Well, the defense got some turnovers going, and then the offense had a nice drive together too and punched it in, and then it's a good complementary football too. Good special teams, good defense, which led to some short field positions.
And you talk about that good defense. I mean, holding a Southeast Valley team to 6 points. What do you feel like the defense did well out there?
Just executed. They executed. They tackled well. We put on tackling a ton of it. It was a big emphasis from last week to this week. So it's just great to see the kids out there doing that.
And, what kind of tackling did you guys work on? Was it kind of that group gang tackling, or were you working more on the one-on-one solo tackling?
A lot of it's angles. Angles, pursuit, understanding where your help is too. How to pursue the guy. Using the out of bounds and things like that too.
Offensively, what switched from that first half to that second half?
I think it was just our kids, kind of settling in. Coaches did a great job of just kind of attacking where there's some openings.
And I know for you guys throughout the year, you've had a lot of slower starts in the first half here. What are you guys trying to do to prevent that and kind of get out early and start getting rolling earlier?
We talk about 4 quarters being locked in too. Executing the game plan. A lot of times, we'll have a game plan in place, and then it might drift away from it. But it's getting the kids to understand that, hey, this is what we kind of saw scouting wise, things like that too. And it's not working. Coaches make adjustments. Just trusting, that player to player and coach to player trust.
For you guys as well, what was kind of the game plan on both sides of the ball coming into it compared to what you guys got out of the game?
I thought they both sides executed very well.
And, I mean, when you talk about executing very well, that offensive night for Brock Baiting, 4 touchdowns as well, kind of throwing the ball around, and then you saw Jaron Hoffman get a touchdown as well. When you guys throw the ball around like that, do you feel like that kind of takes a little bit of the pressure off of Jaron to be able to run the ball more freely?
Yeah, it's good complementary football too. A lot of times it's vice versa, where get the O-line gets the running game going, and then the pass game opens up tonight. The pass game definitely started to help up the running game a little bit. And I thought Jaron and the O-lineman did a fantastic job.
Starting 5-0 as well as a couple of district wins here. What are kind of the feelings for you guys as a team?
We're 0-0. We really talk about that too. You got to bring it each and every game, and just respecting all of our opponents too, and trying to get better week in and week out.
And I know you guys probably haven't game planned too much for next week, but what do you feel like the feelings are going into next week as well?
Every district game is a big game, so we'll have to make sure we'll really start breaking things down this weekend, and just get excited for that opportunity.
And on the weekends wise, are you guys off practice wise, or is it you guys doing some weightlifting, or is everything just kind of out of the way until next Monday?
The weekend off, we send them film to study and send them some notes and things like that too, and then coaches kind of usually do our game planning.
And you talk about you guys doing a game planning as sending film. What do you feel like you want the guys to take away from this Southeast Valley win? The execution, where things get over too, especially defensively. Why certain coverages or spots or blitzes work, and those things we talked about too, and just being a student of the game. And you talk about different coverages and why they worked. What do you feel like worked on the defensive end of the ball for you guys against Southeast Valley?
I think it was just understanding alignment. And a lot of it is just reacting quick. When you put time in that film, your eyes are trained quicker and you're able to react faster.
and you're talking about some of these guys that watch film. I know some of these senior guys are out there putting in a lot of hours for you. What does this senior class mean to you guys in the Knights program as well?
They've been great leaders too. They're really good football players, but they're really good kids and really good leaders too. Underclassmen and it's all the kind of kids at Kemper. I know they look up to them, and just really proud of them so far this year.
For that leadership role, do you feel like that's going to end up trickling down? Do you feel like some of these senior guys are going to leave an impact for next year as well as years to follow?
That's always the hope and goal. Yeah, for sure.
For you guys as well, what do you feel like is the next step for the Kemper football program to stay perfect throughout the rest of the season?
We don't worry about that. Us like one game at a time. Just keep focusing on us and getting better, because we can't control our opponent. If it's all about focusing on us and on how we can get each better and attack each week.
And I mean, with another district win over Southeast Valley, though, does that kind of get the feelings going any direction, or do you feel like it's just, again, restart, ready for the next week?
Restart, ready for next week, ready to go. Yep.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the big win against Southeast Valley yesterday, and we appreciate you joining us here on the Coaches Show.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Hi, this is Dr. Rick Gotting. Join me here on KCIM at 10 o'clock on Sunday mornings, where I talk about orthopedics and whatever else really comes to mind. We have a good time on the show, and we would like to invite you to join us.
Listen this Sunday morning at 10 a.m. right here on KCIM for the St. Anthony Hospital Orthopedics Show with Dr. Rick Gotting. For more information about St. Anthony Orthopedics, go to stanthonyhospital.org or call 794-5536.
Back here on the Peach Ranch Coaches Show, talking with the Carroll Tiger head football coach, of course, Craig Rowetter. They pick up a huge win last night, knocking off Harlan 33-28 to start the district season. Coach, congratulations. What a big win for you guys last night.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a big win on, homecoming is always awesome, but it was a big win, especially how our district is going to come out, I think.
And to get it, as you mentioned, homecoming, you start the district season with the win. Another game, 5 games in a row now to start the year with a score or less deciding the game. But also on the night, you guys celebrate the 1925 state championship team, so that made it extra special.
Yeah, there was a lot, credit to our kids, too. There was a lot going on, always is with homecoming week, but with the, honoring that 1925 team, Mr. Durkoff, Scott Durkoff he should be on the, recon or FBI or something, because the amount of information he can find on everybody and anybody is amazing. So if you haven't had a chance to check out his information he got on that was pretty impressive. But, so it's all, but credit to our seniors, they knew the task at hand was the football game, and, the rest, everybody else can enjoy the festivities, but they were pretty focused on the game at hand.
And, Coach, a good start for you guys. You kind of needed it. You jumped out on them early, took advantage of some work by the defense to create some turnovers, and you guys got that early lead.
Yeah, and, the first, they deferred, and so we took the ball first, and they had a good scheme. They knew what we wanted to do, and they tried taking out our pullers and, with some slants and stuff. But we stuck with it, but we did have to punt. And they roughed Mason Stitz. You got to roughen the punter call, so we got to do fresh set of downs and win again. And then it came up to a 4th down, so they thought they had to stop again. And Coach Shable broke out a fake punt, and Malik ran up got there for a 1st down, and that kind of kept the drive alive, and we kept it on the ground pretty much the whole time, and Michael was able to punch it in there for our opening score.
And then the defense did their work then.
Yeah, defense, again, they might have had a yard rushing on us in the first half. It was we were very sound up front defensively. We were able to get Miles Pudence back. He has missed the last 3 games with the broken finger from the Gilbert game, so it was good to have him back up front in the middle. Kind of gives us a little bit of a break between Luters and Holt. Not having to play both ways the entire time, so it was good to have him back. And yeah, they got us the ball. Just gave up really one big play was it in that first half.
Yeah, and I know there was some situations there late in the half where it was kind of like, can you guys build the lead or can Harlan cut it into it, because they were going to get the ball to start the second half. But you guys, I think, extended that lead going into halftime.
Yeah, we were able to punch one in there pretty close to before half. And I thought that was big, too, to get that. We were up 13-7, and then that made it 20-7, knowing that they were going to get the ball back at halftime.
Did you guys talk about any adjustments or have to do anything different in the second half from the first half? Because, I think you talked about it, Gavin Holt moving into that linebacker. I know Casey talked earlier Mason did on the scoreboard show that he absolutely loved having Gavin Holt as there as a linebacker because he kept pancaking the guys in front of him.
Yeah, we put, that's just a formation. I mean, we have a decent amount of formations, and just brings an extra lineman in and, gives him, it's kind of most kind of call it a sniffer back right behind the offensive line, but really it just cuts down so if it doesn't give us the run through lanes, and still gives us the opportunity to use him as our lead blocker. But that's one formation the guys like. At halftime, we didn't really change a whole lot offensively. The guys were pretty adamant about wanting to run the ball and be physical. They thought our offensive line was really, really confident, which I loved, and just said, "Hey, coach, we got him up front. Let's just keep pounding it at them and wear them down." And ultimately, I think that's what we did offensively and had success doing that. Just kind of sustaining drives and trying to wear them down.
Up 27-14 going into the fourth. Was it the wearing them down that allowed you guys to pull out that victory last night?
Yeah, I think their defensive line was pretty exciting. They had that one, I think 6'8" or 6'7" and 6'8", but 300, just shy of 300 pounds. He's a big human being. So again, you got two guys pounding on you. They were pretty determined to keep away our outside sweep play with Malik on the outside. I thought they did a nice job. Had a good scheme to kind of keep that at bay. So we just kind of went to our power play and hit that inside, and that lets Gavin Holt and Kim Luter's double team. I'll have to watch film again, but they're going to be begging for a pancake sticker on one that I know stands out to me, that when the 6'7", 300-pound guy's moving backwards, that you notice that pretty easy. So, so that we just kept attacking like that, and then kept him off balance a little bit with hitting, Michael at that fullback spot, getting the kind of the tough yards up the middle too.
You guys, they hit the touchdown pass, the deep one to cut it to 33-28, but you guys get the onside. And I understand there was kind of a unique last play of the game as Camden, who threw the ball really well last night, kind of had to scramble around to run the clock out.
Yeah, unique's a good word for it. It wasn't exactly, like I told my parents after the game, that's, I guess, what I get for, working with high school student athletes. It's what's always said in the huddle doesn't maybe 100% get construed the exact way that you're picturing it. But, Cam's just a great athlete. He was supposed to he was supposed to get to the end zone, and step out with no time left just to give the safety. We're up 5, win by 3, have a happy homecoming. But he kind of put his athleticism on display a little bit and did some turnaround spin outs and dodged one kid that got really close to tripping us up. And it would have been probably about our 5-yard line. And I think they would have probably still had 1 or 2 seconds left. So that was about a disaster. But, playmakers make plays. So he survived, rolled around, and ran the clock out, and came out with a victory.
Coach, last night, Michael, 3 touchdowns. He was wearing a special number as well.
Yeah, it was, unfortunately, former classmate and captain with me on the football team back in 2000, Corey Wiederin, is having a tough battle with kidney cancer. So we were hopeful we could get him at the game last night. It didn't work out. I know he tuned in and watched on the Tiger Vision stream, but I just thought it was a great way to honor him, having, Michael wear that 29 that Corey was in high school and instead of the 35. And I didn't really anticipate, going for the hat trick on touchdowns with Michael. He's probably going to want to keep that 29 jersey now since he did that. But, it's a special way just to let him know we're thinking about him all the time. And, it was nice that his parents and sisters came down before the game and, met with them and got them a autographed football from us and one of the old 29 jerseys. So it was, a special time for a special guy there. And I know he's been living in Ankeny for years, but he still keeps up. He followed Michael at state wrestling and, always keeps up on the Tigers. And that's what I went back to our camp slogan with Tigers don't change their stripes, and Corey's the epitome of that. Even though he's in Ankeny, said you slice him open and you're bleeding black and orange. So, it was a special night just to recognize Corey and really proud of Michael for his efforts last night. And I think he made him proud.
Well, Coach, I know you got a big one next week with Greene County. I'll look forward to chatting with you about that one coming up next week. So we appreciate you joining us here tonight. Celebrate this one for as long as you can this weekend, but I know you're getting ready for that next one. So congrats on the victory tonight and best of luck next week.
Yeah, you bet, Jeff. It'll be should be a good one next week, both undefeated in the district. So don't anticipate, and maybe we'll try not to make it a last second game. I didn't start calling us the cardiac cats or something, but no, we'll be prepared, get the kids ready to go, and hopefully it'll be a good one. So appreciate all the coverage you guys give us, and go Tigers.
Head coach Craig Rowetter joining us again here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show, back right after this.
Back to school chaos? Tame the mess with up to 20% off stylish, functional cabinetry from Brinks Cabinets and Design. From mudrooms and bathrooms to kitchens and closets, Brinks has smart storage solutions to fit your life and your budget. Choose from top brands like Miralat and Yorktown, and work with local design expert Michelle for a stress-free experience from layout to install. Start the school year off organized and inspired. Visit Brinks Cabinets and Design on the east side of Carroll today.
We're back here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show on this Saturday morning. Deb Danner joining us as they make their way down to Des Moines, Lincoln for another meet coming up today. Deb, as always, appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, it's always good to be here.
You bet, Coach. You guys have been off for, I would say, the week, simply because you're headed to Lincoln today. The last time you swam was at the Fort Dodge Invite. Let's talk about that last weekend. Pretty good meet for you guys. You finished fourth. I know you wanted to finish a little bit above that. So how did you feel like you guys did?
Yeah, the girls did well. We saw some pretty good times. So they're continuing to improve. So, that's the main thing. And I've told you this for how many years now. These meets are just practice runs for regionals and state.
Yep.
So, you want to win, of course, but the point is to get better and faster and more comfortable in the water. So, and they're doing that, and I can see that. So that's always a good thing. Some of the other teams swam a few better races than we did. So that's just kind of how it goes, and we learn from it. So, hopefully we've made the changes we needed to make, and we're going to swim even faster.
What did you take away then that you think will help you later on this season for state qualifying and those meets?
Yeah, so, we've been working on turns and our streamlines, and so they got a real good chance to see some of that last weekend at Fort Dodge. So, I can bring it to their attention, and they can see it in real time what's happening. So it gets through to their heads a little bit better. Okay, I get it now. I understand what we need to do. So we've kind of been working on our turns, our streamlines, just overall sprinting, how to finish a little bit quicker. So, hopefully we'll get to see that today, and hopefully it goes well for us.
Coach, Harper Ladwig seemed to have a pretty good meet as far as where she was finishing. What did you see from her?
Yeah, so she's been swimming the 2 IM, and she's managed to drop another 3 seconds on that, so that was great. She's just kind of figuring out those exchanges from one stroke to the next, which can be pretty tough at times. You know, you're tired and you got to switch over to another stroke. So she's doing really well with that. Her backstroke, she just keeps dropping a little more time. So, yeah, you know, if she can just keep doing that all season long, that would be awesome.
And, Coach, another swimmer that I know you pointed out last week in the email to us was Samantha Cadwell. I know she swam a personal best in the 100 free. Where's she improving and how's she doing that?
Yeah, you know, she's just getting stronger and stronger. And it's too bad it's her first year as a senior. Would have been nice to have her as a freshman and making these improvements as we go. So, yeah, she's just getting better. She's, you know, like I said, we've kind of worked on turns, streamlines, and, you know, we've been doing that for a while, but now we finally got to really see it from some teams that do it well. So, you know, she catches on to things very quickly. She understands what her job is. So, yeah, you know, so she pulled off a personal best in 100 free. It was great to see. Totally surprised her, I think. And so, you know, we got a little spark going with her right now.
What other events or other kids were you really happy with last Saturday? And, you know, you see that progress you want at this point of the season?
Yeah, so Grace always does really well in that 500. So, you know, that's always fun to watch her swim that. You know, she's the cross-country runner, and they tend to have a little more endurance. So, you know, and she's doing really well in that. Briley Barons always gives me a good showing in the 100 fly. So, yeah, you know, it's just things are just slowly starting to come together for the girls, and yeah, they're doing a great job.
Today you're in Lincoln, Des Moines, Lincoln. Anyway, I don't want people to think you're in Lincoln, Nebraska. So you're at Des Moines, right. Lincoln here today. A pretty packed field. You know a lot of these programs really well. What are you looking at today?
Yeah, so you know we're just looking to drop some more time, trying to finish in the top 5 as much as we can. I feel like we've got about 5 or 6 events that we should be able to finish in the top 5. Would I like to pull in about another 3 more events into that? Yes. So, you know, hopefully we can get there. You know, we've been working hard on those sprints, so I feel pretty good that the girls are going to be able to do that.
Well, you and I were talking during the commercial break. You know, there's some teams that are going to probably, you know, do really well today, but where do you feel like you guys fit in the pack? Where do you want to fit in the pack with what you want to learn from today?
Yeah, so, I mean, we're looking to place about 3rd overall. And the girls, you know, they feel pretty good about it, too. We've talked about it. We've talked about where they should be finishing, how they should be finishing. So, you know, and we watch the other teams. You know, I know a lot of these other girls from the other teams, and so, you know, we'll stand there on the side and it's like, hey, now look at this. Yeah, you know, it really helps when they get those visuals, and it'll help with their races.
Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate all of the time. Wish you the best of luck today at Des Moines, Lincoln, and looking forward to getting the results later tonight to see how the girls did.
Great, thank you.
You bet. Head coach Deb Danner again with the Carroll Girls Swim Team, back with more here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show on KCIM.
Hey, moms and dads out there, let Pizza Ranch make feeding your family fun and affordable. Every Tuesday night, kids 12 and under eat free. Whether they love the pizza, chicken, or mac and cheese, you'll make them all happy. When you're on the go with sports, church, or, well, just life, come in for a quick and delicious buffet. The best part is, they'll do the dishes. Pizza Ranch makes family meals fun and fast. For delivery or carryout, call 792-3456. Pizza Ranch, just off Highway 30 in Carroll.
Whoa, that's good.
Back here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show, talking Carroll volleyball right now as head coach Riley Ludwig is joining us. Tigers sitting 10-10 as they head over to Nevada later this morning. Actually on the way right now, Coach, as you guys get that first match. I think you ref today, if I remember correctly, for the first pool match today. But thanks for joining us here on this early Saturday morning.
Yeah. Nice to be here.
You bet, Coach. Another weekend, another tournament. You guys have This will be, what, 3 weeks in a row? Then next week, is it 4 weeks in a row? Are you at Jefferson next Saturday?
Yep, 4 weeks in a row, and then that'll be it. So
4 weeks in a row. So Rockwell City Lytton for the South Central Calhoun tournament a couple of weekends ago. Last week was your tournament in Nevada today. But let's talk last week. I haven't had a chance to chat with you. You win your pool. Have a nice little run through there. You get into the semifinals. You knock off Storm Lake in 3. You get to the finals, and you fall just a little bit short to IK Manning, a team that was in your pool that you had defeated earlier in the morning in the first match of the day. So pleased with how things went last weekend. I'm sure probably would have been happier if you'd have won it, but pleased with how things went.
Yeah, I can't complain. They played all around, played really, really well last week. Moved on from mistakes really quickly. Didn't really make the same mistake twice, and just did a really, really awesome job. Had great serving, great serve receive. I think in one game we had somebody hit like 857, no errors or anything. So it was impressive.
What do you think jump-started the day and got you going on the right foot?
I think that they're determined. They know what kind of a team they are and what kind of a team that they can be, and they've been working really hard, and they're ready to win. So
let's start with that first match of the morning against IKM Manning. It was 2 fairly close sets. You were able to pull them both out for a 2-0 start on the day. I know it was a week ago, and you got another whole tournament on the brain, but what was the difference, do you think, that allowed you guys to be able to knock off them guys in the first match of the morning?
Going into that, I knew that Manning would probably be our toughest game. Whether it was right away in the morning or later on, I had a feeling that we were going to run into them. Well, I hoped we'd be in the championship too, but in my head, that's how the tournament worked out, was that we play in pool play and then play them again later in the afternoon. So I knew that for sure one of those games was going to be our toughest game, and I let the girls know that we had to be ready to go in the morning, and because we couldn't drop, we didn't want to drop that first game and then start 0-1 on the day. So going in knowing that we had to play, I think helped a lot.
Was it the net or the back row that really stood out for you?
Both. There was lots of touches on blocks. Our defense was just amazing, getting lots of balls up, and then our offense at the net, they saw lots of open spots. They tipped to spots, they swung, they mixed up a lot of their roll shots, and it was very impressive.
Was it that match your best match of the day, or did you think it was the sweep over Fort Dodge later in the day?
I think we played overall the best against Manning, but we looked good against Fort Dodge too. But overall energy, the hitting efficiency, serving, all of that I think was better right away in the morning.
Who served well for you last weekend?
Honestly, all of them. I think we only missed maybe one serve in each match all day, and there was a couple out of 100. So it was every single person, every single player got on a run at some point in the day. Lots of aces. It was a good day for serving. Were
you guys hitting your spots and everything, not just getting it in, but hitting your spots as well?
Yeah, it's getting it in and serving aggressive, and I mean, I guess it helps that we get to practice in our gym, and
yep.
But yeah, they were hitting spots. It was aggressive. It was very, it was great.
Ended up falling to Newell Fonda ended up falling to Newell Fonda, in pool play, 2-1. 3 really tight sets. You lose 21-18 and then win 21-19 and then fall 15-13. What do you feel was the difference there compared to the other pool play matches that you had?
It seems like every time we go into 3, we get behind in that third set, and we just can't work our way back. We made lots of mistakes. And then Newell Fonda quit making mistakes. And, when they did, we weren't quite taking advantage of it the way they were taking advantage of our mistakes. So there was a little bit less energy, a little bit less fight, lots of mistakes. And that, volleyball's a game of mistakes. Whoever makes more usually is on not the best side of the game. So.
Still did enough to be able to get that pool championship, if I remember correctly. You guys, Newell Fonda and IK Manning, were all 3-1. Actually, no, that was in the other pool with South Central Calhoun, where you had 3 teams go 3-1. But you end up getting into the semifinals. You took on Storm Lake, dropped the first set in a tight one, but this time you go to 3 and you get the close win. What was the difference?
We didn't want to go home, to be honest. There was a lot of motivation there, knowing that like this is a win or go home situation. We talked about that a lot throughout the season. Like once we get to postseason, it's winner. We're done with the season, and I think that feeling is just one of those things that motivates us and gets us ready to go and play. And we weren't ready to be done, so we wanted to play in the championship. Last year we also got second place, and I think the want to fight for that first place again was there.
How rocking was the gym for that championship match? 2 local teams squaring off.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was a really fun game. It was a close game, just a couple points there, and no, it was fun. Even though we didn't come out on top, it was just fun to play a game like that. It was competitive. The girls had fun, and I know it's hard to have fun when you don't win, but it was a fun game. Lots of really good things. Fixed a lot of things in that game. After timeouts. After sets, between sets, and it was fun to play.
Yeah, you pull out a 24-22 win in the first set and then drop the next 2. Coach, what was the conversation like with the girls afterwards, knowing you had North Polk this week, to get the week started on Tuesday?
Just like really how well we played. It was a really good day for everybody. And then going into North Polk, knowing that, we've been working on a lot of things over the week. And we had to be ready to go, ready to compete, because that was a game that, we were looking forward to. We thought we could pull off, and then we just had to take what we did this weekend and keep the momentum going.
How'd you play against North Polk? A close first set, and score-wise, not as close in sets 2 and 3.
Yeah, the first set was really great. Our serve receive was on, defense was on, offense was on, and then we just made a lot of mistakes right in a row. North Polk took advantage, started getting their serves in, and serving pretty aggressive, and then our serve receive, our passing kind of fell apart in those last 2 sets, and we couldn't use our offense the way that we were able to in that first set right away.
I know Annalie Ayala really looked like she must have swung pretty well that night, ended up with 13 kills.
Yeah, we did a lot of work hitting around the block, using tooling hands, seeing open spots for tips, watched some film and stuff like that, and she definitely applied all that. Macy Similek did a really good job of hitting around the block too.
What did you see from Macy?
She's really figuring out that line shot. She's aggressive, and she's swinging around the block line. She'll tip when she needs to, and same with Kyra. Kyra's really figuring out how to hit between the blocks. She's seeing the hole, hitting between there, hitting hard. And same with Analia. She's mixing up everything, just doing a really awesome job.
What'd you guys work on in practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to get ready for today over at Nevada?
We put up a big block again this week. We did a lot of defensive stuff, and then kind of tried to fix our serve receive, went through rotations, and just really worked on earning points instead of hoping, for mistakes from the other team.
You guys got Wapsie Valley, Norwalk, and Des Moines Christian in your pool today. Is it more about what you do and how you play, or the teams you're going up against to have success today in pool play?
More so us. We're focused on our side, really wanting to play well, play our game.
Well, Coach, I know you're getting ready to get things rolling over there, so we appreciate your time here today. Best of luck, and looking forward to seeing how you and the girls did later on today.
Thank you.
You bet. Head coach Riley Ludwig again with the Carroll volleyball team. We're back with more of the Pete Ranch Coaches Show coming up here on KCIM.
This is Dustin Allen, Champion Ford, and our tire sale is almost over. Right now, buy 3 tires and get the 4th for free, plus a $50 discount from us here at Champion, and up to $100 in rebates. That's hundreds of dollars in savings, but don't put this off. This sale ends Tuesday, September 30th. Don't be the one paying full price for tires this fall. Hurry in and claim your savings before Tuesday, September 30th at Champion Ford, where everybody wins.
Pete Ranch Coaches Show rolling on this Saturday morning as we talk to head coach Thomas Nelson with the Kemper Cross Country team. He's on his way down to Harlan with the boys as they'll be running down there today. So, Coach, appreciate you chiseling out a little bit of time here this morning to catch up and chat with us.
It is always great to be here, and thank you for your coverage.
You bet, Coach. It's one of those weeks where it's a little bit of a different schedule for you guys. The girls ran by themselves Tuesday down at Tri-Center. The boys only meet in the last week or so is today down at Harlan. So how many times do you think in your career here have you guys had the girls and boys kind of running at different days and different meets?
This is actually the first time we've had the girls varsity and boys varsity split locations.
That's what I thought.
We've done it in the past where varsities have gone. A couple of years ago, varsities went to Ames, and JVs in middle school went to Audubon. But this is the first time we've tried, each one going to a separate meet. And Tuesday was awesome, and I'm hoping today's going to be awesome as well.
Yeah, let's start with Tuesday there in the girls. You said it was loaded with PRs. I knew I had interviewed Anna Seidel and Grace afterwards. Anna, I knew had said, because she had mentioned it right away, that it was a PR for her. I just found out here now that Grace had run a PR, but you said a lot of the girls ran PRs that day.
Yeah, so on our varsity squad, Anna, Grace, Logan, and Meredith, who's just in her third race, is already down to in the 24th and finished 51st. All four of those PR'd. It's something that they've been doing really well in practice lately, so I'm not surprised, and they've just become more and more confident runners. And it was really fun seeing. I thought as a whole squad, including Casey and Shelby and Maddie Segabart, they got out really well in the race, and we had a nice pack towards the first quarter. And I think that pack really helped so many of them be able to PR.
And, Coach, I know in talking with the girls after the race, and even some of the boys from the other schools that I cover, that close up the hill could be tough, but I think everybody liked that to start down the hill. You mentioned a good start for your girls. Was that part of it, or do you just think they were really ready to roll that day?
I think it's a combination of both those things. I think, we've talked before about how important it was getting Casey back. She's always been one to get out and get into a good position to start the races. So having her get out, and I kind of told Grace and Meredith specifically, since they're not quite as experienced as your Shelbys and your Maddies, go out with Casey, stick with her, and it's going to get you to a really good spot. And then the same thing is, Anna's just getting more and more confidence every meet. She's, put 3 really strong meets together now and has seen, how far ahead in the race and how early in the race she can get kind of in a better position. And I thought she did that well, which led to her having the big PR and being our number 1 runner that day.
I was going to say, what stood out for you about what her and Grace were able to do? They got out with Casey and then were able to maintain that pace.
I think just getting out first and then realizing through the workouts we've done, we've talked about, doing repeat 8s, repeat miles, that they've just got a lot stronger as the year has gone on. And it started to realize that they are capable of that last mile of really making moves. And it's not just about finishing the race, it's about making moves and getting better places as you're finishing that last mile.
What did the girls tell you that they liked about that course?
I think they liked basically, we talked a lot about getting up the hills and then leading into the downhills. And they did a really good job with that and taking advantage of that, forward momentum. And again, I think that's another part that played a role in them running such good times.
Coach, you mentioned the junior high boys, I think you said, ran really well down there as well.
Yeah, the junior high boys specifically are our top 4 8th grade runners: Tanner North, Jaden Gatch, Owen Lechtenberg, and Carson Cleveland. They all finished in the top 10. They went 2, 4, 7, 8. They've just been having a really awesome season. That was actually their second win as a team of the year. And they're kids who just worked really hard all summer. And they don't get a lot of recognition, but they're kids who are going to have really, really promising careers in track and cross country and other sports too. A lot of basketball players and baseball players there. So I was just really proud of them for all the work they've put in, and really looking forward to see what they continue to do as the season goes on.
Will you be taking any of the junior high boys with you today, or is it just the varsity and JV boys?
Today is just our varsity boys and a couple of JV kids as reserves, and just help them get a little more experience and seeing, some of the bigger schools, the Lewis Centrals, the Red Oaks, Hawkeye 10 schools, and what they've got. But yeah, so pretty much just varsity today.
Coach, let's talk about today. What's the goals? This should be a pretty strong but a good course, but a strong course and also a strong meet today, loaded with Hawkeye 10 and some bigger schools. So what are you hoping to see today?
Just hoping to learn a lot about kind of where we stand currently in the Hawkeye 10. Our kids, actually, Thomas mentioned it yesterday when we were talking about what time we want to leave and get there, and he said, it's not like we need to walk the course. This is a course these seniors have ran 3 times. They're very familiar with it. Most of the younger guys, your Lucas, your Haydens, have run it at least twice. So it's a course they're all familiar with, and they all know that we've had some really good times on. So they're going to be looking to close the gap with Lewis Central and Red Oak and see how close we can get to them as a team, and also try to set some PRs.
So what are the other teams that you feel like will be some of the top teams there overall?
Riverside's, just loaded this year, and they're super good. Our main goal is just going to be try to get as close to Lewis Central, Red Oak, or upset one of them if possible. And then also to see, we haven't ran against all the schools in the Hawkeye 10 yet, and a lot of them that we have ran against, it was back at Glenwood. Kind of try to make more, space in our point spread with those schools, and give us a better idea of how kind of the season's going to play out over the next few meets.
Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate all the time here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show. Best of luck coming up today, and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thank you for your coverage. Go Tigers, go Knights, and have a great weekend too.
Head Coach Thomas Nelson again with the Kemper Cross Country teams.
Harvest season moves fast, but safety should always come first. Portable grain augers, oversized wagons, and combines can all accidentally contact overhead power lines, putting both operators and bystanders at risk of electrocution. Before you move equipment, take a moment, lower portable augers or elevators, and always keep at least 10 feet of clearance from power lines. Think ahead. Work smart and make this a safe harvest season. A reminder from your friends at Raccoon Valley Electric Cooperative.
Rusty Wintermouth, the head volleyball coach with the Kemper Knights, joining us on this Saturday morning here on the CB Sports Network. Of course, it's the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show here on KCIM. Knights continue to roll through the season, picking up the CYO championship last Saturday without dropping a set, and then went down to Atlantic on Tuesday and easily swept through both Shenandoah and Atlantic. Coach, appreciate you joining us here today, and I know you probably don't like me saying easily swept through, but that's what it looks like from the outside.
Well, you wanted to indicate that you thought it was having to deal with trouble dealing with Mason because you felt like my night was too easy and Mason would be a little bit tougher on me. But Mason was a blessing in disguise on Tuesday night. I said every time you guys as radio people are here, I've always said Mr. Blake was a good luck charm, and now it's starting to rub off on you, Mason. But it was fun to visit with him. But yes, good morning, awesome morning, beautiful day. Actually, you've caught me traveling down the highway to go see my dad and ponder things that have happened during the week and how blessed I am and to be surrounded by good people all the time. So good morning to you, Mr. Blakeman. Hopefully I'll fill you with some information.
I'm sure you will, because you always do. Let's start with the last weekend, the CYO. Had to be happy. You knew you might face a challenge from Heelan. I know you had mentioned last week as well that Remsen St. Mary's was kind of that scrappy 1A team that always kept the ball up. But you go 6-0 or 5-0 in matches. You don't drop a set on the day. There wasn't very many sets that were overly challenging for you. So I got a sense you felt like the girls played well.
Well, and here's why I agree with your statement that they play well. We started out the day really kind of going with a modified 6-2 and realizing that even when we started out with St. Edmund, who was down some personnel because they were at the state team, or not state, but the team regional part of theirs, and they have some really good, nice tennis players at St. Edmund. So they were kind of they were short some players, and we just took advantage of that. But what was nice is not to see any complacency from the girls and the way that they were able to, increase their hitting percentage and pass really well and serve receive. And with the first two matches, we started out with our modified, and when we got to the St. Mary's during the St. Mary's match, Remsen St. Mary's, we struggled a little bit with getting touches on the ball at the front line, and was starting to bother me. And then St. Mary's they aren't big, but they're really quick hitters. And so we decided after that match, and the Remsen one was Yeah, the scores indicated we fairly won easy, but up until that midway point, it wasn't more than a couple of points. We just found some holes in their rotation and took advantage of it. But they also took advantage of some of our holes in a couple of our rotations. So at that time, when we had a break before we took on Bishop Garrigan out of Algona, we decided that we were going to change some things up to give us another hitter in the rotations that we didn't have three hitters, and decided to gave Addie Anthover an opportunity to play 6 rotations, and she really stepped up, and that allowed Olivia Shakelberg to get more time, and she gave us a nice solid block. So we went with that the rest of the day, and that really played advantageous for us when we played Bishop Heelan. They were a nice sized team, but you could tell that they were fairly young. They had 4 personnel back from last year that either started or played a lot of new minutes, and they have a new coach, but they still did what they did. They attacked in the middle, and we took a little bit to adjust to that, especially in a game 1 that we won 23-21, but it was something that, we started a new rotation, and with new people and personnel, I need them to experience some lumps and see how they go through it. I think it got to, they had set point when it was 20-18, and we bounced it back to 20-20, and it just kind of stayed there, and then we slowly came back, obviously, and won 23-21, and then game 2, things really started to come together with the groupings that we put in the hitting situations. And of course, you got a competitor like Elsa as a setter. She did a great job of moving it around, and then it just kind of flowed into the Galen match, and we just were hitting on all cylinders. And then obviously Tuesday night was one of those things, but defensively we were able to provide a different look for most teams, but offensively was where the change happened by throwing Addie Anthover as a back row attacker. And the only reason we did that, I got to thinking about how, of course, you and I know I'm a big Nebraska fan, and how they use Andy Jackson in the back row when she serves. She's that right side attacker, and it's paid dividends to them. And I'm not going to say that I'm as smart as Danny or John Cook, but it has worked for us. So I want to say hopefully a good coach is able to steal good ideas and use it. And Addie is playing big factors for us in that back row and causing some issues for the teams when they're only thinking they're going to focus on an outside and a middle hitter.
Coach, 4 of the 6 sets the other night against Atlantic and Shenandoah, you held the opponent to single digits, winning, I think, 2 of them 25-4, a 25-6, and a 25-7. That's dominant defense or dominant serving or something.
I'm gonna say it was mostly a lot of serving. We told ourselves, and Coach Wagner, John Wagner, who's back with us this year, he's in charge of the serving, and he did a great job of finding those holes away from the libero and forcing a lot of their hitters to try and pass when they were in that serve receive. And the kids did a nice job of hitting seams against both teams, and we really took them out of it with whether or not it was an ace, but we took them out of the match. A lot of games we took them out of by just making them decide who was going to take it. And when they had to do that, they were out of system a lot. So, with Shenandoah, they technically really only had a couple of hitters. But when their hitters were in the back row, that's when we were able to get a good block on it. But I would say out of most anything, our serve probably played a bigger factor in those teams into single digits because we had a lot of long runs. Because I could tell when I have really low single digits in substitutions, that something must be working, that we were getting a lot of 3 and 4 or 5 run points. I think at one time, Kobe against Shenandoah was 12 for 12 before she got stopped in her serve. So we were very aggressive. with our serve and just extended from the CYO tournament. So, yeah, blocking, we got lots more touches, but realistically, because our serve forced a lot of out of system, they were hitting deeper balls off the net, and they were just kind of, because when we would get touches, they'd like, okay, now we're going to hit it higher. And then when they hit it higher, they weren't finishing, and the girls did a nice job in the back line of traveling with it to the sideline, to the end line. So we forced them into a lot of bad shots with our serve.
Well, Coach, I tell you what, man, it's fun to watch. You guys are 24-2 on the season. I know you got some long travels to Glenwood and Lewis Central. You also go to Harlan and Sergeant Bluff. I'll see you up there for that match. So you guys are going to be on the road a lot. As always, we appreciate all of the time, and we look forward to recapping the Glenwood and LC matchups with you next week.
I look forward to those times as well, because it's always a great conversation. And again, thank you to the radio station and all the efforts you guys make to allow Kemper Catholic to be advertised and the kids to get noticed.
Head coach Rusty Wintermode again with the Kemper volleyball team. Back with more of the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show here on the CB Sports Network.
Are you ready for fall? The crisp air, cozy sweaters, and the leaves turning all shades of awesome? With September here, we're kicking off our fall frenzy with Pokey's caramel apples for your entire office. Imagine sinking your teeth in that sweet, gooey goodness while you're working. Could your workday get any better? It's as easy as a stroll through a pumpkin patch to win. Just head to carolbroadcasting.com and enter. Don't miss out on the chance to sweeten up your workspace with Pokey's caramel apples and kick off our fall frenzy. Enter now at carolbroadcasting.com.
Dina Finner and the head girls tennis coach with the Kemper Knights joining us here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show. The Knights have their team season come to an end this past Wednesday, but of course Charlotte Schwabe will compete this coming Wednesday down at the State Girls Tennis Tournament. Coach, it's always good to catch up with you. Congrats again on a terrific season with the girls tennis team.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, it was a good season.
It was, Coach. What stood out for you overall, besides Charlotte, of course, qualifying for state? What are some of the other memories you're going to take away from this season?
Oh, we had a really good season. We showed a lot of progress, a lot of advancements. My girls really, they just showed a lot of improvement throughout the year. I can't wait to see what they do in their future with what they've come out with.
Coach, let's start with last Saturday. You guys knock off Iowa Falls Alden at home there in Class 1A Region 7. You get 4 singles matches, and then Charlotte and Bella won their doubles match to end it and give you the 5-2 victory and advance into Wednesday. Charlotte won hers in 2 sets. Bella had to battle through 3 sets. Reagan won in 2 sets, and then Priscilla also picked up a really tough and tight 2-set victory to give you those 4 individuals or 4 singles wins. What did you feel about last Saturday and how the girls played?
Yeah, last Saturday, they really worked hard. They pulled it out at the end. Charlotte, she played very well against their number 1. Bella, she worked really hard. She won her first set. The other girl came back the second set, but then Bella pulled it through with the third set and beat her 10-5. And then Priscilla came through and she won her 2 sets. And then Charlotte and Bella came in the end and was able to win the doubles match, so to get her 5. And then Reagan, she pulled it through and she won her 2 sets 6-3 with both of them. So those were our 5 wins, and we were able to move through.
What was the difference, do you think, for Bella to be able to? I thought she kind of controlled that third set, winning at 10-5, the tiebreaker set. What do you think was the difference that allowed her to come back after losing set 2 and kind of grab control right away?
I think Bella, she's just really good. She can just really focus in. When she gets down, she tends to focus more, and then she just really pushes through.
And then Priscilla, I know she celebrated. I was watching the end of that match for her, and she was really happy. So when you saw that she gets that 7-5 win to win that second set, 7-6 to win 2-0, what did she do well late that was kind of allowed her to be able to pick up the win?
Priscilla has really improved in her serving. When she started the year, her servings were a little off. and she has really worked hard at getting that first serve in. So her serves have improved a ton this year. So just improving on that serve, getting those serves in, just improved her play immensely.
Was it the first serve the difference for her, or was it the second serve the difference for her, do you think, in that match?
I think her first serve made the difference.
Okay. Charlotte and Bella then go on again, another 3-set victory there in doubles, and a tight one, 11-9 in that third set. So what did you see from them in doubles, and how close were the other matches to being done when that one ended for you guys to be able to pick up the 5-2 victory?
You know, the other matches, Reagan and Raya, they were also, they were just finishing up on their second set. I think they were going to go into a tiebreaker 2 with the third set. So that one was getting close too. So they were almost ready to win theirs as well, or at least hopefully winning theirs. So, and Meredith and Maribel, they were going into their second set. So we were getting close on all 3 doubles.
Okay, so good thing that you got the win and able to end it. It always seems weird to me the way a match can completely come to an end as soon as you get your 5 wins, but that's kind of the way things work. Wednesday, you went up to St. Edmund with a rematch. This time you had Bella in the lineup. She had her wisdom teeth out the last time and was not able to play against St. Edmund, but you end up losing on the day 5-1. Charlotte, of course, picked up a win in number 1 singles. What did you see from the girls on Wednesday at St. Edmund?
You know, Wednesday at St. Edmunds, they put in a hard play. They really worked hard. We are really hoping to kind of come out with a win on this one. We're bringing in a totally different lineup, putting Bella in there. But it just didn't work out. St. Edmund is a good team, and we worked hard. And Bella put in a good fight. She lost her first set, but came back, won the second set. She just came short on that third, losing 7-10. But she fought hard, and they put in a good year.
What allows Charlotte to dominate another team's number 1 like she did the other day? That's a good team that you lost to, so she goes out and wins her matchup 6-2, 6-1 against their number 1. That's impressive.
Charlotte she just has a really strong swing, and she's able to place the ball where she wants it. And so sometimes girls just have a hard time figuring out where that ball is going and keeping up with her.
Coach, Charlotte advances down to state. I know we were just kind of glancing here a little bit ago, about the pairings and stuff. She's going to run into a young lady from Fairfield in the opening round. You were kind of comparing, records and some numbers and stuff, and it's going to be a tight one when you get down to state, but you got a good feeling about Wednesday's match.
Yeah, just looking at the stats from the 2 players, they're very close. I'm not really sure who all Fairfield's player they've played against, but just looking at their records, they're very comparable. So I feel that Charlotte's got a great chance going down there. So I'm very hopeful for her.
Well, Coach, I tell you what, we appreciate you joining us here today. Wish you the best of luck with Charlotte. Enjoy the trip down to state, and we look forward to following how she does.
All right, thank you very much.
You bet. Head coach again, Dina Finneran again with the Kemper girls tennis team, joining us here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show.
When you need to know, KCIM is the place to listen on 1380 AM and 95.1 FM.
This is KCIM Carroll.